Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the absolutely delicious world of cheesecake. Next time you're hit with a sweet craving, you've got to try these amazing cheesecake recipes. Seriously, you won't regret it. That first bite of smooth, creamy, homemade cheesecake. It's like a little slice of heaven. You'll definitely feel that every minute spent making it was worth it. Trust me, it's a total game changer. Picture this, a buttery graham cracker crust that's just the right amount of crunch, topped with that smooth, velvety filling that feels like a hug for your taste buds. And let's not forget about the toppings. Whether it's a drizzle of luscious chocolate, a burst of fresh berries, or a sprinkle of caramel, each bite is an experience. You know what I mean, right? Cheesecake is not just dessert. It's a celebration on a plate. Let's get started. First, let's clear something up. Philadelphia cheesecake isn't a regional style like New York or Chicago pizza. It refers to a cheesecake made with the star ingredient, Philadelphia brand cream cheese. This is the secret to its famously smooth, rich, yet surprisingly light texture. It's the brand that basically defined the modern cheesecake we all know and love. So, what exactly is a cheesecake? At its heart, it's a sweet dessert made with a soft, fresh cheese, sugar, and eggs, all sitting on a crumbly crust. Think of it, a buttery base, often made from graham crackers, holding a luscious, creamy filling. It can be baked for a dense, custardy result, or in a bake for a lighter, mousse-like texture. The history of cheesecake is fascinatingly long. Can you believe it? Back in the day, at the very first Olympic Games in ancient Greece, athletes were actually served a dish made of cheese, wheat, and honey. How wild is that? It's like a tasty little energy boost for all that competition, right? But the creamy, decadent version we crave today that came much later. Cream cheese, that super creamy goodness we all love, was actually invented by accident back in the 1870s by a dairyman in the US who was trying to copy a French cheese. Isn't that wild? This happy accident changed the dessert world forever. Now, you've probably heard of New York cheesecake. How is it different? New York cheesecake is the heavyweight champion of the cheesecake world. It's incredibly dense, rich, and firm. The secret lies in its ingredients: a high ratio of full-fat cream cheese, extra egg yolks, and heavy cream or sour cream. This creates a velvety, luxurious mouthfeel that's intensely creamy. It's baked in a spring-form pan, often with a crust that goes up the sides, and the flavor is classic and straightforward, letting the tangy cream cheese shine with just a hint of vanilla and lemon. Baking it is an art, often requires a water bath to cook evenly and prevent that dreaded crack on top. So, while a Philadelphia cheesecake can be made in a New York style, the term Philadelphia really highlights the specific cream cheese that gives it that signature creamy, less dense texture that many people prefer. It's more about the key ingredient than the specific recipe style. Another popular variation is the Italian ricotta cheesecake. This one is a whole different experience. It's much lighter, fluffier, and has a more delicate, almost cake-like texture. Instead of cream cheese, it uses ricotta, which gives it a slightly grainy, but in a very pleasant way, consistency. The flavor is often brightened with citrus zest, like lemon or orange. It can be made with or without a crust, and is the perfect, airy dessert to finish off a big Italian meal. But let's be honest, the one we all try to make at home is the classic baked Philadelphia cheesecake. It's the quintessential homemade dessert that feels both impressive and comforting. ready to make one. I'm going to walk you through the classic recipe that has been loved for generations. First, preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 Celsius. For the crust, you'll need 1½ cups of graham cracker crumbs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and about 1/3 cup of melted butter. Mix these all together until the crumbs are evenly moistened. Press this mixture firmly onto the bottom of a 9-inch springform pan. This pan is key because the sides unclip, letting you release the cake perfectly. Now, for the star of the show, the filling. You'll need 4 8-ounce packages of Philadelphia cream cheese, softened to room temperature. This is super important for a smooth, lump-free filling. In a large bowl, beat the softened cream cheese, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla with an electric mixer until it's completely smooth and blended. Next, add 4 eggs, but do it one at a time. Mix on a low speed after adding each egg just until it's incorporated. Overmixing can add too much air, which can cause the cheesecake to puff up and then crack as it cools. So, low and slow is the way to go. Once everything is smoothly combined, pour this beautiful, creamy filling over your prepared crust in the springform pan. Spread it out evenly. Now, it's time to bake. Place it in your preheated oven and bake for about 55 minutes. You'll know it's done when the edges are set, but the center still has a slight jiggle to it, almost like jello. It will continue to set as it cools. After baking, let the cheesecake cool completely on a wire rack before you even think about putting it in the fridge. This slow cooling process is another secret to preventing cracks. Once it's cool, run a knife around the edge of the pan to loosen it, but leave the rim on. Then, cover it and refrigerate for at least 4 hours, but overnight is even better. This chilling time is crucial for the flavors to meld and for the cake to set up to that perfect, sliceable consistency. But what if you don't want to turn on your oven? Or maybe you just prefer a lighter, fluffier texture. Then the no-bake Philadelphia cheesecake is your new best friend. It's incredibly easy and gives you a dessert that's more like a creamy, decadent mousse. For a no-bake version, the crust is similar. You'll combine 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 1/4 cup of brown sugar for a little molasses flavor, and 1/2 cup of melted, unsalted butter. Press this into your 9-inch springform pan and pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes to firm up while you make the filling. For the filling, start by whipping 1¼ cups of cold, heavy cream in a large bowl until stiff peaks form. Stiff peaks mean that when you lift the beaters out, the cream holds its shape. Set this aside. In a separate bowl, beat 3 8-ounce packages of softened cream cheese with 1/2 cup of sugar until it's completely smooth. Then, fold in 1/4 cup of sour cream and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. The sour cream adds a wonderful temperature. Now, for the final step, gently fold the whipped cream into the cream cheese mixture. Be gentle. You want to keep all that air you whipped into the cream to maintain a light and airy texture. Once it's all incorporated, pour the filling over your chilled crust, smooth the top, and cover. This one needs to refrigerate for at least 6 hours, or preferably overnight, to set up properly. No baking required. One of the great debates in the dessert world is cheesecake a cake or a pie? It has cake in the name, but it has a crust and a filling like a pie. It's baked like a custard, which is another category altogether. Honestly, it shares traits with all of them. But at the end of the day, does it really matter what we call it? It's a delicious, rich, and universally loved dessert, and that's what counts. The Cheesecake Factory is this super popular American restaurant chain that you've probably heard of. It's famous for its gigantic menu, seriously, over 250 items. You can find everything from juicy burgers and creamy pastas to fresh salads and tasty small plates. And let's not forget about their signature cheesecakes, which are to die for. Everything is made fresh from scratch, focusing on generous portions and a fun dining experience. It all started back in the 1940s with a little bakery, and by 1978, it blossomed into a full-fledged restaurant. Now, it's a big player with several brands, including North Italia. Isn't that amazing? Vast menu. We're talking about a whopping 250 items. Here, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or gluten-free, there's something delicious waiting for you. And don't even get me started on the cheesecake dozens of flavors that make your taste buds dance. Fresh and from scratch, each dish is whipped up fresh every single day in all our restaurants, ensuring you get that homemade goodness. Origin story. It all kicked off in the 1940s with Evelyn Overtone's bakery, and then her son David took it to the next level by opening the first restaurant in 1978 in Beverly Hills, California. How cool is that? The parent company is the Cheesecake Factory Incorporated, and they're not just about those famous cheesecakes. They also own other cool restaurant brands like North Italia and Flower Child, which really adds some variety to their portfolio. Their bakery division is a big deal too. It whips up not only those creamy cheesecakes, but also a bunch of other delicious baked goods for their restaurants, licensees, and retail customers. When you step into one of their locations, you'll find a casual dining vibe with an enormous menu, massive portions, and, of course, those legendary desserts that people rave about. Whether you're in the mood for a hearty meal or just want to indulge in a slice of cheesecake, they've got you covered. Whether you go for the classic baked version with its dense, creamy texture or the light and airy no-bake recipe, the key is always quality ingredients, especially that iconic Philadelphia cream cheese. It's what gives cheesecake its signature flavor and texture that has made it a dessert legend around the world. Next time you're really craving something special, you've got to try one of these recipes. Seriously, when you take that first bite of that smooth, creamy, homemade cheesecake, you'll totally feel like it was worth every single second spent. Thanks a million for tuning in today. I really hope you're feeling all fired up to head into the kitchen and whip up a delicious cheesecake. Trust me, there's nothing quite like the joy of creating something sweet and creamy from scratch. If you had a blast diving into this recipe with me, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tasty treats. I'd love to hear which cheesecake style makes your taste buds dance, so drop your favorite in the comments. Can't wait to see you next time.